It's Lee from ColoringQueen.net, and today I want to show you my Disneyland book from Japan. I thought I'd actually review this, and of course, I found it in my cupboard and that I hadn't actually made it to the top of the pile. So there you can see it up against one of Joanna Basford's colouring books so that you can tell the same size. It's got a lovely dust jacket on it. And on the inside cover, which is white and laminate, there is a gorgeous picture of all the Disney friends. Coloured title page. And this is such thick paper, this section of the book. It is gorgeous, but I just wish the spine, there we have it, now it's gorgeous. So in Japanese we've got some ideas of the types of materials we can use. There's normal Faber-Castell Classic pencils. These are actually the watercolour ones. There's the pastels, gel pens, and we have a fixative here. Now you could use a scanning app to translate that if you don't speak Japanese. And at the beginning, because this is also a painting lesson book, we've got some ideas for colouring in our gorgeous little Tinkerbell. So our little visual thumbnail index here, and we can see that a lot of these are double page scenes. And look at this, gorgeous. So this is in red and pink. And you see that theirs is very sort of, it's not overly layered or anything like that. It's just about having a good time. So it doesn't matter if you've got fancy pants pencils or what you're using. So this paper is beautifully thick. It's a medium to heavy quality, off-white, and it really is lovely. On the reverse we have the lesson. So we can see our lovely Minnie and how they're highlighting the bow. But you can also see the finished product, that they haven't done huge amounts of layers on there, and it looks quite pretty. So you can do as little or as much as you like. We've got our yellow and orange themed pictures. So Winnie the Pooh, and how cute is this? And a very comic book style picture of Chip and Dale. And then we've got our green and bright green. So I like the way they're taking us through using colours as the theme for each picture. But of course you don't have to choose those colours. You can do whatever you fancy. So we've got our gorgeous Bambi. Now it looks like different artists have drawn different pictures because some are more heavily highlighted and some are more textured than others. So you can see on Tinkerbell how outlined she is here, and then we've got finer lines that recess into the background. And then we've got our lovely blues. And our lovely little mermaid. And see how sketchy this one is in comparison to some of the other pictures. So it really seems like there's a few different artists drawing. So here we've got Cinderella, and see how they're guiding you through the pictures, the different colours, and you can see that's what they've used the gel pen for those gorgeous little sparkles. And our purples. And see the little colour palette below. This is just gorgeous. I love purple. And of course black. And this is really effective here. Don't often see it used, but look how beautiful those flowers are. And this is already pre-printed. And Tink, lovely black and purple combo. It's really gorgeous. And just a general colourful one. And see how we've got the shading from purple to blue, aqua, green, lime green, green. It's really gorgeous the way that they've done that for us so that we can work out the colours, that they're not just solid, they're actually blended colours. And so here we've got all of these lovely little tips on how to add those highlights. Now this is probably some do-it-yourself type thing, and they've got a little cutting line here where you can cut these ones out as opposed to the previous images. This is labelled bonus materials, so I'm not sure what you're meant to do with those. I'll have to scan it and find out. So Mickey and Minnie, and again a very sketchily drawn image. Lovely double page scene here, but it does run up into the spine, and these bits here are going to be very tricky to colour unless you can crack that spine. And of course the wonderful Alice, and see how the line art in this is a lot finer compared to say Snow White, and we've got the lovely greys there that recess back and the darker lines at the front. And our little seven dwarfs that are all looking very sketchy. Whenever I have a few to drink, trying to work out the names of the seven dwarfs is always my test on how many I have consumed. Now this one is really pencil drawn of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Piglet. It's really sketchy, it's just like a pencil piece. And here are some of our lovely ladies, Little Mermaid and friends. Here is Minnie and Daisy, so the two girls together with that lovely lighter background there in a finer line and a lighter colour. And this is probably the smallest little detail, so I like that the elements are large enough to colour, especially if you've got a motor injury or a visual impairment. I don't know how you're meant to colour these ones. They're right up here in the spine. It's going to be very difficult. But this is stitched as well as glue bound, so you might be able to snip that stitch if you don't mind damaging your book. And again, we've got some very sketchy pictures here of Alice. I love seeing all these different interpretations of her. This is a really dark image, so it's really cool. Something different. A nice Halloween one. And then these tiny little Toy Story one and monsters. Very small elements there. I might pass on colouring those. And there we're at the end. So there's our gorgeous book on Disneyland characters from Japan. The links, as usual, are below the video. Until next time, happy colouring.